Hey comic book fans, welcome back to Comic Book Corner 2.0. And fans, you're back with me, Mike Spider Slayer, again ready to do that all-important comic book review so you, the fans, can make a decision on what comic books to buy. And today, fans, I'm going to be talking about Mark Millar and Sean Murphy's Chrononauts, issue number 2. That's right, guys. Now, I talked about this on my countdown, and I wanted to go a little bit more in depth about Chrononauts, issue number 2. So maybe you guys can jump on this book because I think this is a really fun book, a little bit different, and this might be becoming a movie eventually as well, too. So, yeah, Chrononauts, issue number 2. Again, it's written by Mark Millar and drawn by Sean Murphy. Now, if you guys read the Wake, you're familiar with Murphy's art. That was the most recent project that he's done besides this. And throughout the book, you get to see this, this medieval times type of warfare that's going on through here. I think the artwork kind of fits the book. The tones fit the book. The color fits the book here. Goes through that time travel. I think the character expressions here fit this book as well. I just love this. This is Riley here. This is his facial expression when he sees his buddy, and it's just really good art, I feel, and it just kind of fits everything that's going on because they're always jumping through time and space and things that happens throughout this particular issue. So artwork really hits it on all notes here. This is like one of my favorite pages right here. These two going out on the town together. They're just like best buds. Just not going out on the town, but they're going out through the timeline, which I think was neat. So what do I think about this story? What's the story about? So you guys can jump on board. Again, we're only on issue 2. You guys can jump on issue 1 and see how it all kicks off. With issue 1, we wind up finding out that there's this man, his name is Corbin, who comes up with this time machine. And he can go through this gate and wear this space suit. And not only is it a time machine, you can just travel back in time, go anywhere that you want. We've seen that before. But it's like a social media thing. Everyone can see what's going on. So news broadcasts, the people that are running it, they can see everything that's going on and what they're experiencing throughout this thing. And then at the last issue, what happens is we get to see the main character. His name is Corbin. He winds up going through, there was a malfunction. He gets stuck in 1504. And then what happens is his friend goes in after him. And we wind up seeing that at the end of the issue, you get stabbed in the leg with an arrow, or get shot in the leg with an arrow, and you're like, oh shit. And that's kind of how the issue ends. In this issue, you wind up seeing him, and you're like, okay, we're in 1504, but there's a car driving by. What's going on here? What has happened in the timeline that, all things are going wrong? Because we get to see machine guns. We get to see all kinds of things going on that's not supposed to be going on. Helicopters, anything to win this war. And then when they finally win this battle, we wind up seeing that Riley explains himself to who he is. He goes, my name is Dan Riley. I'm looking for, and his chief weapons man here, his guardsman, brings him to the actual city. And we wind up seeing that there's this city, and it looks like this. In 1504, no doubt. And you're like, holy shit, that's pretty cool. That city looks awesome. And they're having a parade for winning the war. They're driving this Jeep. And the next thing you wind up seeing is no shit. You get to see the man who is their king, and that is Corbin, the man who came up with this project. And he's just like, oh my God. He's like, Riley's like, Corbin. He's like, oh, nice to see you. And throughout the issue, he's explaining to him. He's like, I've been waiting for you. And he's like, what do you mean? It's only been 40 minutes. But through this time machine, 4 years has passed, and this guy, Corbin, has become their king. And in order to win this war, he, brings him all these helicopters and stuff. Again, they made him a king in no time because of, just because of what he's done. And he's been waiting for him because he wants him to join this journey. And he gives him a tour of everything that's going on, and he's got cars and all this thing, and he tells him that he's from, jumping from here to here, and the guys back at home are just like, oh no, they're just like, this is like the worst case scenario. And then what happens is Corbin and Riley go on a trip, and he explains to him everything that's been going on. And he's just explaining to him, they go to 1220, 1929, they go to all these cool places. And he's got houses in different parts of the world. He's He's playing, you know, he's gambling. He's got women out the kazoo. He's got so many women. He has this freaking board full of them with all the chicks that he's hooked up throughout the years. And it was like, oh my God, that's so crazy. And he's just like, but I want you, Riley. This thing will not be good unless it's with you. And so he thinks about it, and he's like, hell yeah, why the hell not? And and people get pissed off watching him at home, and they're like, oh, you asshole. And he's just like, hell yeah, let's go, man. And they wind up going through all the timelines and going through all these crazy places. And throughout this issue, you get to see they go through the dinosaur age, flying through, you know, jets to the Tyrannosaurus Rex. They're taking, you know, they're going through Scotland 1314. They're going through like 530 million years ago, where they see the first mammal crawl up on Earth. I thought that was hysterical, and they're taking pics of it. I thought it was great. They even have a thing with baby Jesus in there. I was just like, oh my God, this is so crazy. But, you know, the more they go through this timeline, it looks like that things might catch up with them. And they turned off the tracking device so they can't be tracked. But back at home, in current time, we found out that the batteries are trackable, and it looks like that they're going to send in the SWAT team by the time you wind up getting to the end of this particular issue. And yeah, it was absolutely crazy. And I was just like, oh man, what's going to happen next? So this was a really cool issue, and I really love Chrononauts. I think it's really fun. I like seeing the chemistry between these two guys. They're partners that created this time machine. And what better is it to, you know, not just test it out like they originally planned, but to really play with it, to really enjoy their life. That's what they set out to do, not to be just this random scientist people. And that's, you know, again, that's what they set themselves out to do, to have some fun here. But, you know, they're not being responsible, and I feel like they're just really messing up timelines. They're messing up all kinds of things, and there's going to be lots of ramifications going forward with this. So I can't wait to see what happens going forward with these two troublemakers. And yeah, great book and great dialogue here. Fun times here for these two. This was just like the fun issue before all shit hits the fan. So I really think you guys should give Chrononauts a try. You know, don't pass it up. You know, Mark Millar writes really great stuff, and Sean Murphy's artwork combined with this makes a great book. So after reading this one, I give this one a 5 out of 5 stars, guys. Definitely try this book out again. And fans, as always, thank you for watching Comic Book Corner 2.0. And until that next comic book review, you guys can check out my Facebook page, and you can check out my Twitter as well. So guys, again, take care, and I'll see you on that next review.